After a long wait, we finally have it, the xTool F2 portable laser. The xTool F2 starts at $14.99. There's a bunch of accessories and affiliate links are down below. Now let's go over some of the specs of this little powerhouse. The xTool F2 is a dual source 15-watt diode and 5-watt IR combination. It has a high-speed engraving up to 6,000 millimeters per second. It has autofocus and manual focus. It's fully enclosed, has a working area of 115 by 115 millimeter, has a 50 megapixel smart camera. You have an optional conveyor. The diode dot size is 0.08 by 0.06 and the IR dot size is 0.03 by 0.03. The max cut for basswood is 15 millimeters and the max cut for color acrylic is 12 millimeter. On the side you have your data as well as your rotary USB-C. The back you have your on-off power, filtration control, your foot switch, your key lock, and optional display. For air purification, I am going to be using the desktop air purifier. This is compatible with the F1, F1 Lite, M1 Ultra, and the F2. It can be controlled by USB-C. The F2 also has a built-in fan to exhaust out the window if you so choose. Now I realize that this is an enclosed laser, however, you still may want to invest in some safety eyewear that's certified. And that's because you only get one pair of eyes. And also there could be some laser light bleed by having to have the laser enclosure open for bigger materials. After you install xTool Studio and connect your F2 to USB-C or Wi-Fi, you'll be greeted with a safety tutorial on how to use your lasers properly, and then you're going to be calibrating your camera. Now I wanted to start out with something simple, so I grabbed my logo and I'm going to make it grayscale. I'm going to invert it, and now I'm going to engrave it on some laser compatible sheets, I guess. And I just wanted to see how well it does this photo. Now this is time-lapse, most of it will be, so just letting you know. And that came out really nice, and it only took about 2.5 minutes to laser engrave this. It did a pretty darn good job. This xTool software is definitely starting to become a lot more powerful. Now I wanted to actually try to remove this background here, so I did the AI cutout. Now you actually have to use some credits for this stuff. I'm not a fan of credits, but it did remove the background really nicely, and that's what I'm looking for. So maybe the credits may not be too bad. But now I want to do the same thing. And one thing I failed to mention on before, a reason why I chose grayscale and invert, I'm doing that again, is because I have a black material that I'm engraving on. And I'm doing the same. This is going to actually be a slate coaster, and you want to invert it. And this came out really nice, and I think I would do IR on this. It picked blue laser, and I think the IR would have done a better job, but still very crisp and clean. It only took a couple minutes. Now I'm going to do a dog tag, 1000 dot duration, 90% power, 1000 DPI, and 1 pass. Now this is, again, a 5-watt IR, so it's pretty powerful for such a small package. And this is a time lapse. It actually took about 6 to 7 minutes for this to complete, so not real ideal, but it's more of a proof of concept here and how nicely this can do like stainless steel. And I think it did a really good job, as long as my camera would focus. There you go. Yep, let's continue on to something else. Now, let's see about making some money with this machine. Let's start out with this Zippo. These are about $11 to $12, very popular item. And I'm going to put my logo on here. Now, this may not be the best way to do it. This is more just to show you how it can do it. I'm doing the same settings, and you can see how slow it goes here during this live shot, and it took about an hour for both sides. But remember, you could be doing other things as this is happening, but you don't want to leave your laser unattended, of course. And you can see that it does a really nice job. However, if you were doing more like a pattern or something, or letters, it would definitely go a lot faster. And you can feel the engraving on here. And definitely different angles give you a different look. Now, I'm going to just give you a little bit more projects on this video. You know, I figured that's what people want to do, is to see how they can make money. So I stopped by Harbor Freight and to get some tools. Let's see what we can do with these bags of goodies. So I purchased 4 of these tape measures. These were only $5. The reason why I picked them up is because Well, they just have the sticker. I'm going to remove the label. And would you look at that? I got now a rubberized surface to engrave on. Now I did some testing and I got these settings for IR .200, power 30, DPI 1000, and I did 3 passes, not the one that was just listed there. And you can see that definitely got some nice contrast after they were done. It only took about 2.5 minutes per. So yeah, actually not too bad at all. Now, as nice as these came out, there was somewhat of a problem. Yeah, there's a reason why I can't just do it this way, even though I'm pretty happy with how these came out. It's this. Sometimes you peel back the sticker and you get these nice dots instead. So I'm going to have to change my course on this one and do something else, just in case if this happens again. And since this now has a camera on there, I was able to detect the QR code and knew that this was 1/8 3mm basswood. And let's go over some of my settings. Now I have 2 layers, and the cutout, yeah, it could have been 1, but in the testing you're going to see 2. I didn't trust it, I should have, and 2 was overkill. And since I have 2 different types, I have SVG and I have pictures, those are the settings for both. To do this, all the engravings and the cutouts only took about 5 minutes. And it just fell right out. Of course it did, because I did 2 passes, and it really only needed 1. I should trust the settings. And, you know, even with grain, as I always say, you battle the grain, this came out really, really crisp. I'm super impressed. Now, it does not have any air assist, so you're going to get some charring. But, yeah, I'm very happy with how nice and crisp the engravings are and how crisp the, the cutouts are. And let's go ahead and see what I'm going to do with these. I'm going to apply some of this nice fine double-sided tape, put it on the back of these, then I'm going to peel off the film here, and then we're going to stick it on. Now this is around 17 to 18 millimeters. Definitely take some calipers and measure, but nice tight fit on there. Now 2 of these have the engraving behind the wood, but that's a little added bonus, I guess. And you could probably sell these for, anywhere from $10 to $12 each and make some profit. Now, let's continue on to something else. Now, when I go shopping for anything that I'm looking to repurpose and make some money off of, I look for products that have no branding. And this Gordon knife has no branding whatsoever on it. So I created this design and put my name tripod in there. And I actually have a whole tutorial on how I do this on my F1 Ultra for Harbor Freight. So I'll put the link up there and down below. Now this has a textured handle, and I'm doing 4 passes on this just to see if I could get a little bit more contrast out of it. And I think that's about it. 4 passes is just enough. And of course, as you tilt it and you get different viewing angles on it, I think it came out really nice, but those little dots definitely fight the contrast a little bit. Now we're going to do the opposite side. Same thing, same technique. Again, F1 Ultra Harbor Freight Edition. Link will be down below. And I can show you how to do both sides of the knife. And the blade itself, too. This knife was only like $10. And you can personalize it. You don't have to be as fancy as me, but you could definitely make some money off of this as well. Now let's continue on to the next project. Now Harbor Freight sells these waterproof cases. And guess what? They only have stickers for identification. So let's go ahead and start peeling some off. I see a perfect area for something to be engraved on. And let's see if this will actually reach with the autofocus. I think I'm definitely testing the limits here. You can see the 2 dots there. And as long as they merge, we have success. Otherwise, we'll have to do the pass through on the bottom. Looks like we just made it. So this is just enough room. Typically with plastics polymers, you're going to want to do low power and high speed. So we're doing 30 and 2000, along with 300 lines per centimeter, the highest it can go. So let's see what happens. And this part is real time. That's the beauty of doing polymers and certain plastics, that, yeah, this is permanent and you get a real nice contrast. So let's take a look. Now I could have done a better job with my centering, but it is what it is, and that image looks really nice. That's the beauty of polymers, I'm telling you. And if you have PMags, I'm pretty darn confident that you would get a real nice contrast as well. Again, this is real time, no time lapses on this. And if you're doing like a PMag, I would suggest that you have one that you could test with, because you could start out with this setting of, of 30 on the power and 2000 for the speed. I would definitely keep your DPI high, just for details if needed. But man, you just test the PMag with some other little settings, and I'm sure you can get some nice colors on that as well. Now I found these clamps at Harbor Freight. There was no sticker on that area, and look at, it's like perfect to engrave someone's name on there. Tripod's Garage fits right on there, and guess what? I'm using the same settings as that waterproof case. That's the beauty of plastics. I mean, that was all real time, and look how nice and crisp that is. Perfect way to personalize and make some extra money. I mean, what, a couple bucks right there, and what, for seconds worth of work. Definitely a money maker if you so choose. So let's continue on. Now, we got Dollar Tree. Most of it's around $1.25, sometimes higher. And believe it or not, these little cutting boards are still about $1.25. And yeah, we're going to personalize it a little bit and see if we can make some money. And of course, we're going to go through some of this material selections. Now you do get a huge interface of materials, and this library is extensive, and you could also add your own. So I'm going to do with the thickness doesn't matter, because we're really not going to cut into it. So we're going to just do the 1/8 3mm bamboo, even though it's thicker. It's going to say that's flammable. We definitely know that. So mornings are nice. And what we're going to do is do this Godfather. And yeah, this is going to take about 11.5 minutes, but we want it to be a nice darker contrast, and it does produce a real nice dark contrast. Now with bamboo, you definitely battle the grain, and you can see how grainy it is. And but again, we did a pretty good job busting through that grain, and I would say that you can make some money off of that too. Now I found these candles, $1.25 each. What's great about these candles, we got some oak lids on here, but how are we going to make some money on these? And what sells? Pets and laughter. So I designed this little saying on here, light me if the dog farts. And dot is 220, power 70, DPI 500 with Jarvis. And this only took 1 minute and 30 seconds. Yeah, and it came out with, I mean, look at that, right off the press here. Zero processing, and this just, if you can find oak or something, you can see how much nicer this came out versus like the bamboo. I mean, come on, focus. There we go. Look how, I posted this on X and people could not believe that I did not do any processing. I didn't say what machine it was, but they didn't believe it. And using a little jig, I did all 6 of these in just a matter of minutes. You're talking about some pretty good profit, and this will definitely sell at the flea markets. I mean, you just replace the label in the front with something of your own, and I'm sure you can find these candles elsewhere besides at Dollar Tree. I mean, if the $1.25, I mean, think about it, if you could find the actual company that makes them and just throw your own label on there without having to peel them off. So what are my thoughts about the F2? Well, let's start with some of the positives. Well, I like that they kept everything the same, but improved it. What I mean by that is the form factor is identical. Literally, it is the same size, and it's just a tad bit heavier. You're not going to notice it. And what they did was improve upon it. Basically, like I mentioned what they should be doing in a previous video with a competitor's product, if you know what I mean. Link will be there. And they added more power to the diode. It's now a 15 watt. They added more power to the IR. It's now a 5 watt. Added a lot more functionality because now it also has a camera. And you can do lots of things now. And it is super accurate. And you know what? Everything just worked. The software worked. And, I had no problems with any of this. And this is a beta software. Now that my fanboyism is showing, which it's not, it's just nice to have products that work and upgrade paths that make sense. The only gripe I have is with the software. And, when I was testing the software, it seemed like some of the material settings was gearing all towards the diode. Now, again, this is beta, and xTool did say that they're still working on that and getting the materials library set properly. Now, another problem I have, again, is with the software. It's basically why I say pay as you use. I am not a fan of the credit system. If you're going to charge someone, just make it a subscription. I am not a fan of using the credit system where you have to keep on buying in or participate in things to get more credits for free. Just will never be a fan. I'm not a fan of that, or mortgageware where you pay every month for something. I believe that's a way to nickel and dime your customers to death. But those are some of the features that you may not use or may not use very often. And one last thing. I believe every laser, no matter if it has an enclosure or not, should come with a pair of certified safety goggles. There could be that one time that you're going to need to have the safety cover open a little for some oversized materials, or you're going to have something on the build plate where you actually move the laser enclosure down. And just by including a pair of certified safety goggles, this just gives you added insurance that you can protect your eyes in the foreseeable future. Otherwise, this was such a pleasure to use. Everything just worked like I said. I have no gripes about the hardware at all. It was a great upgrade path from the version 1 to version 2, and I think they listened to their customer base. Or possibly me in one of my previous videos. You never know. And I believe I gave you a pretty good solid walkthrough of the product and maybe gave you some ideas to make some money with this. And of course, I would always recommend that you watch other videos. But, if you do come back, I would appreciate you using an affiliate link because it does help pay for materials that I use and helps keeps the lights on. So I really appreciate you tuning into Tripod's Garage. Please have a wonderful day, evening, or weekend, or whenever you decide to watch this video. Thanks again for tuning in, and we'll catch you again on Tripod's Garage.